Okay, start streaming. We'll see how good this goes. Mikey, I see what you wrote in the chat. Hello, Twitch crowd, take 2. Just opening. I'm reopening up my DS now.
For the benefit of archive viewers, I wrote "I was right," and then I did a grinning smiley face.
There's still shit to stuff I don't know what to do. And that is just it. Okay, it's much better. I think it's fine now. It is on. Okay, it should be good now.
Ding.
Mochi claims Mr. Latus was already down on the ground when he entered the room. Realize we're probably gonna have to reread all that again.
Mr. Apollo Eustace, believe I know shooting.
Mochi claims Mr. Latus was already down on the ground when he entered the room. This is a new recording. But anyway, we have already read that line. It's not very important. Anyway, whatever.
Maybe it was a trap card, and he activated it. Suddenly, I hear a revolver. Close, very close. Then, I hear a voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound.
Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Latus already dead, and then you heard gunshots? That's true.
So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots?
And you escaped through the air vent.
I know. Huh? What do you know? I know if I open vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means?
Backstage back, alright. Hey, he's right! Look, Apollo!
Huh? Yeah. But how did you know it was connected like that?
And why was it not revealed on the map on this diagram we have until just now? Well, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something.
It's almost like we're gonna turn over a receipt and find the clue that solves the whole case or something.
You know, that famous Borginian architecture, the Sunshine Coliseum. I hear this from magician.
Magician? You mean a witch?
What is witch? Is this English word? In Borginia, we say magician for people who do magic. Don't look at me.
A witch, huh?
Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Latus.
Yeah, but what does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots. That one's going to go over well in court. Not.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even when he's totally lying. That's what that means, right? That's what Daddy always told me.
I'll just pretend you misheard him every time. So, what do we do?
You're sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking. No. Well, it was worth a shot.
That cocoon. I can't go home. Can't go home?
No, I read it. Apollo was remembering this flashback entirely in Borginian.
Okay.
That's right, it's punishable by death. That's his actual present internal monologue.
Oh. Nah, he thought that I'm working into what you mean. Of course, he's scared.
Alright then.
I guess we'll just have to try a different approach.
That's the spirit, Apollo. So, what's your plan?
If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
I think we're out of touch. Out of touch, out of time, out of touch, out of time. Right.
July 10th, 11:28 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
No, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Very well. So he's going to testify and not be a little bitch about it?
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
Oh, so he will be a little bitch about it.
Unfortunately, yes.
Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around.
Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angle?
If Machi won't testify, then I will. No, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lemuar!
Kethel says, according to legal, if a lawyer discovers their client is guilty and lying, they're supposed to tell the courtroom that is the case. Well, that's how it's supposed to go in United States court. This is Japanifornia court. That rule might not apply there.
Lemuar?
I mean, listen, we got evidence that isn't revealed until much later. We got stolen evidence. This courtroom is a clown court.
We got prosecutors wielding whips, throwing hot cups of coffee on the defense team.
The defense and the prosecution are usually fucking in the back corner. I mean, that's usual in the courtroom.
Making stupid coffee metaphors and not being told to shut up about it.
Not being gagged enough.
Making Starburst wet. What are you up to now?
Cleve may be my favorite so far, not gonna lie. I think he may be my favorite prosecutor.
More like prosecutor, am I right? I thought we determined yesterday that Lemuar's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can...
Lemuar was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened? Why am I not here about this?
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lemuar dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no such report.
Prosecutor Gavin.
Wow, the law really does not know about this having happened?
Why would anyone be out to kill Lemuar? Can you think of a reason?
Well,
considering the judge and a prosecutor who is one of Lemuar's friends in the country have not heard about this, like, who would have the ability to cover it up this cleanly?
I wonder who. Couldn't be.
Could have been a Valiant Grammary. Master Magician.
I mean, it couldn't have been a important detective in criminal affairs. Division 3, could it?
With a sick-ass orca-themed pompadour.
Absolutely not! Think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut! Who could that have been?
You don't think at all.
I do sometimes! It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouche! The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out!
So, am I to understand that this is what you are saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of... in Lamivar's testimony? A nugget we have yet to uncover?
Ooh, a chicken nugget? Exactly.
Chicken nuggets. If Lamivar was attacked, this has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Thank you for loading in, Discord. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lamivar's testimony once more, but only once more. If you press her, I swear to God, I will knock out your entire health bar with my gavel. Lamivar, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. I know both of these things are very difficult for you. You are on crutches.
You need not
You have a sore throat.
You need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this. Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window, and that the voice belonged to Darien Croissant. Croissant. It's Crescent, but Croissant. Yes. That is correct.
At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of these things. The small window at the scene was closed, and was found to be quite soundproof.
But what about through the vents?
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there. Making up bullshit just like Phoenix, right? We love to see it. Except Phoenix had an art major. What's your excuse, Apollo?
There is, it seems, much you do not know. I mean, he became a law. He was a law student in a world where Phoenix Wright was famous. So.
That's true.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. And he is currently Phoenix Wright's protege.
Yeah, true. Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, being a protege does not pay that well. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. What I heard by Lamivar. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Tooth and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was a smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony. I'm sure pressing will not reveal anything further.
Absolutely not. I'm
sorry. So we are not even going to bother giving Mr. Justice a cross-examination. You may go home now, Lamivar. I'm just going to declare your 14-year-old friend guilty, right here on the spot.
Especially since he obviously can use that gun. Given it would shatter my bones, that kid got muscle.
Hey, I never admitted that gun would shatter my bones if I used it. I could totally take it.
Do you want to try now, Your Honor?
Oh no! I had a large lunch.
How about you, Clavier?
I'd rather you shoot one of my revolvers, Herr Forehead.
And then Apollo just blushes and does his nervous kind of animation. Anyway, I'm not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth.
Then it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible.
Do I have to repeat myself? Lamivar was attacked because of this testimony! What? Trucy?
Apollo, for a moment there,
You were almost cool.
Maybe when I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Mr. Phoenix, are you right?
That's it, kid. Thinking is a waste of time. Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness, or at least almost coolly.
Well, it's not winter, Your Honor, so I don't think I can do it coolly. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit.
I'm suddenly hearing an echo from your mic. I don't know why.
My mic?
Yeah. Like your voice is echoing.
Why? It shouldn't be.
I was hearing it. I don't know what to tell you.
Did you hear anything, Keffel? I mean, if it's on the Twitch card, I won't do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm not currently hearing it.
Is something wrong? I raised an objection, but she's saying the same thing she said before.
Mr. Justice?
So sorry, it's nothing. Please continue with your testimony.
Now I know what they mean about the reckless youth these days. The one in red over there is a shining example, Herr Judge.
You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar. I don't know what to press, so I'll just start pressing everything. I don't know if he's just gonna be... Darian...
Press everything. This is the way.
Darian Crescent. I did not know his name at that point. But yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday.
How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him unless there was some sort of imposter.
Especially since... I don't know if you remember this, Clavier, but Darian missed his line. Isn't that a little sus that he messed up his line? Because the window at the scene was closed. Is that why?
Of course. Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try. What were they talking about? Did you hear anything else? No need.
Did you hear anything else?
Yeah. What were they talking about? No. Did you happen to hear anything else at the time? Anything else? Anything else besides the victim and the shooter's conversation? Anything at all?
That's quite the vague question.
Other than the conversation, I heard a clock ticking, the two men breathing, footsteps. That is all.
Nothing new there, as expected.
I was hoping for a little more than that. I'll try the other one.
Perhaps we should just carry on with the cross-examination.
As you wish. I heard the faint sound of gunshot and then stopped, and I heard another gunshot. I'll press this. I want to see what the other statement says. What were they talking about? Let me ward. Do you, by any chance, remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. I have given it much reflection, but... I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase?
You remember some things that were said?
Why didn't you say anything yesterday? Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said. This could be it! The clue I've been waiting for! Well, what did he say? It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche. The shooter, then. Darian Crescent.
Well, what did Mr. Croissant say?
It's over. Press the switch. Now! Oh, we know about the fucking switch!
Yes, the Nintendo console. And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Latouche.
I thought it was quite strange myself afterwards.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean?
Anyway.
Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
I mean, sure. I'd be delighted. I am very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony.
It's, very, very vital.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe Apollo?
Apollo himself is not vital at all.
From the small window, I heard a voice say, "Press the switch now." And it was Detective Darian Cousin's voice. Yes, I'm sure of it.
It's over. Press the Nintendo Switch. Why would he say that to Mr. Latouche?
Apollo? The murder weapon, the revolver, was Mr. Right?
Yeah. One of it.
My Discord just hiccupped there. And I just realized I didn't start the event.
Well, maybe when he said press the switch, he really meant to say pull the trigger, Piglet. Because his English isn't so good.
Darian Cousin is a native speaker.
Do we know that for sure?
Who was what? Are you sure? Press the switch. That's not something a killer usually says to his or her victim, is it?
Kethel's prediction, calling it now, the gun was connected to the switch inside the piano.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure we've already determined that the switch just activates a lighter.
Yeah.
Was there no one else in the room?
I do not know. All I heard was Mr. Latouche and the detective. So can I present that evidence now? I'm gonna try it.
You can present it whenever you like.
Press the switch! There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words!
Oh? Making stupid coffee metaphors? Are you Godot's protege now, her forehead?
Don't say that, Clavier, please.
Yet there was nothing at the scenes that could be called a switch, save the lights.
True, there wasn't a switch at the scene, but it just so happens I have a switch right here!
That certainly does look like a Nintendo Switch, doesn't it?
I know a Nintendo Switch there, Your Honor, but the problem is...
It could pass for a Joy-Con if you were only looking at it out of the corner of your eye.
This was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage!
The stage?
Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there!
On the stage?
Are you claiming that the voice Lamiwa heard was of someone commanding another to press this switch?
It's a possibility.
Objection!
Oh, her forehead? I'd call that an impossibility.
Why?
Got him. It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lamiwa's dressing room. Not to mention that the Cavaliers were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band.
Not quite in bed either.
You could shout all you wanted like her forehead does in bed and not be heard.
Anyway, the detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout.
So too have her forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard.
Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout.
Excuse me?
Why did I know you were gonna say squeeze me? I don't know why. I don't know, I could sense it.
Same brain. We have the same brain.
Yeah. You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this would be easy to get a message to someone on stage from the dressing room.
Like some sort of earpiece or something.
Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this little doohickey.
That's...
What is it?
What do you mean, what is it, Your Honor?
Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
What are these lines?
I mean, the judge needed what a computer was explained to him in the case with Maggie and the poisoning. Remember?
You're true. Yeah. Oh god. This is a type of transmitter, communications device.
Communications device.
From what I've heard, that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, actually. Therefore, talking between band members. We all had one on.
So you meant that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
Objection!
Huh.
True, but wait. Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited. Mommy said it was about 30 feet, right?
Look at this cross-section of the diagram of the concert form.
Wonder how many meters 30 feet is.
Don't ask me anything about distance. Exactly, the walk from the stage to the backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet! Oh.
Kethel was saying would be a simple matter to bounce the signal off a booster, but then Apollo pointed out that wasn't necessary. That can't be!
So, when Lamiwa heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage. Objection!
Ha! You're claiming this is the switch in question? Why did it have to be on the stage at the time?
That doesn't really matter. The fact is it was.
It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hit it on the stage after the fact. Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said, press the switch.
Well, I guess we don't.
An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's a little point in debating it.
Ugh. I was sure this was the way to go with this.
What is this switch, anyway? We don't even know that basic fact. Perhaps it is simply a Joy-Con.
Wait a second. I do know what the switch is. Yes, you do. You follow the train of logic to its incredible conclusion. It ends up in proof that completely changes this case.
What's up, Apollo? Apollo?
We know about this switch, right? We know what it is.
Yeah, Mommy told us. What? Fraulein Bestie told you, and not me?
Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Oh, I wonder
well, Mr. Justice?
I wonder what happened.
What happened?
I wonder what happened.
What happened?
Clavier, do you remember what happened to your poor guitar?
What happened? What happened?
What happened?
If you have no further information to share concerning this switch...
Your Honor!
Also, note that Apollo doesn't spell honor. He spells honor. Yes, Mr. Justice?
Shut up, Mikey. I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
Yes, we all know it's a Nintendo console. Very popular. You can play Breath of the Wild on it, or Tears of the Kingdom.
Judge, how can you
or
know what...
I-
Judge, how come you know what that is,
or-
but you don't know what a computer is?
I have a grandson.
I have a grandson.
Hmm. My grandson is also a huge fan of The Legend of Zelda. It's all he talks about. Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking this switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what this switch is?
I'm assuming it's this. I will make a save just in case it's... Oh wait, no. Would I have to...
Do you have the igniter? Oh, you have the igniter.
So do I present... I guess I present the igniter first?
Yeah, because we already know that if we press the switch we have, this igniter we have in our inventory lights up, so we can prove the connection there.
Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this?
Ah, that's that.
Judge?
That what? Discord did not have a hiccup on me. Never mind. Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
Igniter? You mean it's like a cigarette lighter?
Yes, actually.
You aren't saying this switch is a remote.
I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you.
Here, Your Honor, hold this up to your beard. Yo. Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom.
Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I expected.
If my whiskers had caught on fire...
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest... Doesn't that concern you? Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Ah!
Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught fire in the middle of your performance.
Ooh, hot. Wasn't that part of the stage show, though?
Nuh-uh. Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned. And the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake.
Also very expensive. That's right, he got it in Burkinia from Lamiwa. He said the sound was amazing. Before it burned, of course. Now it just kind of smokes. The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Careful head.
Yes?
Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. You're trying to say that because there's you're trying to say that because an igniter was found in my guitar, and you found a switch that activates the igniters. Hold on.
Hold on a minute.
Those being the shooter's voice, heard by Lamy Wow. And the guitar suddenly catching on fire.
I am.
That just happens all the time. Guitars do that.
It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Two
The
said...
occupational hazard of being a guitar player, you know. It might suddenly catch fire while you're playing it.
That's quite a dangerous job. Anyway, Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene.
Yes, it is a dangerous job. That's why us rock stars are so sexy.
The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught fire.
Well, that does seem to make sense. Though something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it.
Really, it seems pretty simple to me.
Objection!
Are you calling me simple, Mr. Justice?
No, Your Honor. You're very, very smart.
Apartment complex? I find it quite simple.
Careful, head. Don't destroy what little respect I have for you, you silly little boy.
Is that why you say derogatory things to me in the bedroom?
Yes.
I like it, though.
I was expecting something a little more sensible. Are you tapping your foot, by the way?
Slightly.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's coming through like
Clearly in the broadcast, or if I'm just able to hear it because of my really good headphones, but I do hear it.
I'll stop.
You don't have to. I was just curious. I guess I was wrong.
What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin? Are you and Mr. Justice fucking?
Yes, but... Yes, and...
Kethel says it is. I hear it too.
Sorry.
His simple story simply makes no sense.
Again, you don't really have to apologize. It's pretty quiet.
Sink. That night my guitar caught fire. Yes, but guitars always catch fire if you play them too hard. The cause may have been this, indeed. I mean, we found one just like it charred inside the remains of my guitar. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set. That's right, of course. The guitar caught fire during La Mémoire's song. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. Or did it? The two are entirely unrelated.
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty.
See, his story makes no sense.
Objection!
Are you sure about that?
What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice?
Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far!
What premise is this specifically? Are you saying the time of death is wrong?
I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
Objection!
What's this?
We love how amused Clavier looks. He's just like, this is interesting.
But Detective Emma Sky, my Fraulein Bestie, heard shots and found the body. All of this happened in the third act.
Objection!
Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Machi was in that dressing room at the time.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice?
Stay with me, Your Honor! Stop falling asleep! He also told us this in his testimony, namely that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting.
This is insane.
Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that remote trigger igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act.
What?
Judge, wait up!
What? Order! I was not asleep. Anyone who says I was asleep is going to be held in contempt. But that goes against the evidence, I'm sure.
What does, Your Honor? I love this. That's actually lining up perfectly.
This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes? Hey, he's right, look! The bullet is supposed to come after the fire!
You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh?
Look! Why would the shooter craft the events in a day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it.
Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some good reason.
Yes, they did.
Murderers are perfectly sensible.
A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
You're saying the order was reversed on purpose? Reverse, Prosecutor Gavin. If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. Yet, Herr Forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire.
Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he followed the lyrics the whole way.
Order! That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does! The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi! In other
What
words,
did he charge them with?
the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set but not the second. Someone like Darian?
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all, you silly little boy. Oh, it sounds good. I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic. Oh, it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction, Herr Forehead, one I pointed out several times no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Lamiwa have heard a voice through it? But we've determined that the time of the crime might not. What we think might be the time of the crime might not have actually been the time of the crime.
So it's possible that the window was open. Oh.
This is like that time Edgeworth was saying bellboys should never be without trays. They couldn't possibly set one down inside a room and then step outside of it.
I remember that.
I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Sure. Lamiwa's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice.
What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch. And near the crime scene we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. Can't all be a coincidence. And how do I make it work?
I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamiwa heard the voice? Could it possibly be that we have the time of death wrong? No, that is impossible. That would just be silly.
A key point, to be sure. It would be very silly. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court without being a silly little boy?
Okay, Justice, you've got one thing to prove and one thing only. Lamiwa heard a voice, and she heard it during the second set. Think, how was Lamiwa able to hear the voice? It was open, she had divine hearing! She was somewhere else! She has divine hearing. Personally, I think that's the answer. I'm not gonna get penalized anyway. I'm picking this because it doesn't look like I'm gonna be penalized anyway for it.
Go ahead.
The door was closed, as you say. La Lemoire could still hear the voice because she has the power of divine hearing. That's the only explanation.
She is blind after all. Blind people are supposed to have, like, super hearing.
The witness is a siren, Mr. Justice, not a saint.
I said hearing, Your Honor, not healing. Well, that fell on deaf ears. I'm not sure I know what this divine hearing ability is.
Then perhaps we should hear it straight from the all-powerful voice himself. Care to explain how clairaudience has anything to do with this case?
Can we just move on now?
Only if you can enlighten this court.
Time to rethink this. Heard a voice. She heard it during the second set. Think, how was it? The window was open? Obviously, the window was open. It had to be for her to hear that voice.
Objection!
News bulletin here, forehead. That horse is dead. Stop beating it, for all our sakes. That window was closed. This is a hard fact, reported by the investigation team.
But...
Oh, you have evidence to the contrary, perhaps?
Do I? I'll look after. Well, no, but...
Then do be quiet. I tire of this charade.
Grr, time to rethink this. Okay, it's the last option. I didn't think it was, but... When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either. Meanwhile, it's impossible to hear the voice through the window.
Ah, it's good to hear you making sense again, you silly little boy.
Don't call me that in
For
the
a moment.
courtroom.
For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Borginian too.
As I was saying, Lemoire could not hear the voice through the window. So there can only be one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely!
What's this? What is this banger playing over the speakers?
You do amuse me so. And here I thought you and good sense were back on speaking terms. Now, I'm afraid you and good sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, Herr Forehead? Lemoire clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window. And there is only one small window at the scene.
Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene? The vent, perhaps.
There is?
I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well. You claim Lemoire heard that voice from another location. Do you, boy? Do you? Mr. Justice, show us where this location was. Come on, show us.
Lemoire heard the voice
Good boy,
from
good boy.
here. Would this be? I'm assuming it's the vent. That is my guess.
There's also ventilation over the mirrors. So if that's not it, then try one of those.
Okay, I'll make a save. That's probably good. This is where Lemoire heard the voice from.
But that's no small window. That's the air vent.
What did she tell us? She said she's a Borginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called the air vent a small window.
Objection!
Kind of is, but whatever. Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous.
So Lamiwa was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice now.
Oh no, it's
Is that what you're saying, Is that what you're saying, you silly little boy?
That's not what I'm saying at all. I have the thing that shows the thing of the thing. I have
The diagram.
That's not this. This is not the right diagram. I have the thing that shows
The
the
forum
thing.
diagram.
I have the thing that shows the thing of the thing.
We peeled away the sticker covering the outlines of the ventilation system.
Yeah, that's the only logical explanation. Yes.
Logical. I do not think this word means what you think it means, Hair Forehead.
Okay. What?
Next you're going to start saying inconceivable all the time, I take it?
Okay. What about it isn't logical?
Ha! It hardly merits saying. Why would Lamiwa be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat. No offense intended to her, of course. Nobody ever said she was in the ventilation system.
I don't remember anyone saying that. They're Mr. Clavier. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin, isn't it, Lemuar? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit it's had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed, but why should that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter.
Ugh.
The problem here is words. Lemuar, the small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on the wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
What?
Order, order, I will have order. Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact I was. I'm sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point. Yes, well...
Oh, right.
Why the heck were you up there?
I remember now. Well, I don't remember. I put it together.
I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure I can't.
May I remind you this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room.
Well, looks like I'm on the right track. Above the ceiling by Lemuar. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I heard there was a small window there before. I was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter.
Like some sort of witch's code.
But bound to secrecy?
Oh, yes. 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 My line work, one has many obligations to uphold. Yes.
But you say you were in the middle of your
when
performance.
she disappeared, yes. And the little clown himself.
Hello, it is I, Valent Gregory, the greatest witch of all time.
Gregory, yeah.
The greatest witch currently alive. So this did happen during the second set.
I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That's what the cross-examination is for. Yeah, Herr Forehead.
Clave is enjoying this.
Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
no pinky promise with an 8-year-old girl.
Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you going to do, Apollo?
I'm going to find out the truth. She was above the ceiling for a reason. I just have to get out of her.
Sugar.
I think I know. I'll probably... What happens if I try pressing this statement? I don't... You heard the gunshots during the second set, during your performance. You're quite sure. Yes, why would I lie about the time?
Why didn't you tell us this yesterday?
No one asked me. I thought you all knew. I told you, Machi was not the killer. I told you this many times. Yes, you did. But you never told us why. I am sorry. I was not able to speak of it. Unable or unwilling. Prove it ourselves. Prove why she was up there, she'll have to be there. Blah blah blah.
She was singing on the stage, Apollo. She couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too.
Yes, she could.
Hmm?
I got theory as to why too. Maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. Do I just present the video?
Make a save state.
That's what I'm doing. My assumption, like, we know it's because of that. Like, her disappearing. Cause, like... Anyway, she ends up
It
disappearing.
wraps itself around me.
Lemmiwire, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it's all right here on this video.
What happened?
It wraps itself around me, and now through there I fly.
Whoa.
Burning my heart, fire, burn my love away, all away.
Ooh, I am too hot.
Like
Hot.
a
Ooh, hot, hot.
love fire. Take my life away, all away. Guitar, guitar. Up together to the sky. As we can see, Lemmiwire was clearly not on the stage for her entire performance!
Ah,
Though it saddens me to be so realistic. Lemmiwire isn't capable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation, unless she has assistance from a witch! So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that
by a
time,
witch.
she moved to the back of the form!
Apollo,
What, Trucy?
it's not nice to reveal a witch's secrets, and it's against the rules.
But I'm a lawyer!
Now Uncle Valent is going to get burned at the stake.
But I'm a lawyer, I'm not supposed to be nice!
This is all very fascinating. But how is it possible? There is only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin?
This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed.
Aha! And he never said anything or before.
He's just realizing his own oversight! Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage to the backstage to the rear of the form.
Oh!
Recall Lemmiwire's testimony from yesterday. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling.
Lemuar knew of this because of her part in the illusion, but she wasn't the only one who knew.
What?
Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something.
He said that?
Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin?
Don't call me cute. I knew about the Vanishing Act, of course. Yet I had no idea of the routes that would be used. Why didn't that witch tell me? He's not a witch, he's a bitch. Witches only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know.
Which is why he bound Lemuar to secrecy. Well, Lemuar! I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you.
So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
I did?
Well, that's that. But I'm still a little confused.
Why is that, Your Honor?
I'm old, it happens. As I said before... There was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds, tops. How could you do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
That's a good question, indeed, Your Honor.
Had to read that very fast because I was worried Discord might have a hiccup on me during the auto-playing segment.
Yeah, there.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
Very well. Mr. Justice?
You want me to explain, Your Honor?
Yes. It's all up to you. Do your witch thing.
What thing, Your Honor? I think you're talking about Trucy here.
No, you're all witches, aren't you? Isn't that how Mr. Wright? Isn't that how Mr. Wright won all those cases that he won?
No, sir, I'm pretty sure he just bullshit his way to free them.
You need to. Well, if he bullshitted his way to freedom, then how did he end up disbarred? Check and mate, Mr. Justice.
Oh.
You need to explain that.
Oh my god.
You need to explain how Lamuwa was able to teleport like she did.
I don't feel like I want to now, sir. I think I just want to go home.
Or I'm throwing your ass out with the bathwater.
Like what you did to to Phoenix, right, Mr. Wright?
Yes, just like I did to Daddy Phoenix.
Why do I get picked on? Is it because I'm Phoenix's disciple? Lemuar, who isn't going along with the program here. As I have stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
We're just gonna have to call Valent Grammary to the stand.
Yep.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Why don't we just have Grammary here himself? Yes, if you would, please.
The actual
Right.
reason we can't call him as a witness is because he caught a train.
I feel like a student before finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
The big illusion. I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There's an emergency exit in the backstage, where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the form on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens.
I suppose it was too much to hope the judge would come up with something.
As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lemuar is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
I figured it out already. I am a witch after all.
Well, tell me!
Nope. I can't reveal another witch's secrets. Come on, did you
Hey!
even read the rules?
You're supposed to be on my side here. The big illusion. I'll just press everything. How did you proceed along the route? Why I walked. But you arrived behind the form much too fast to have been walking. Tell the truth, Leviwar. You rode some kind of vehicle.
What? A vehicle? What vehicle? Like in Tears of the Kingdom?
Oh, no.
What a novel idea. I like it.
You... you have Ultra Hand, don't you?
Hey, that's not a bad guess. Wrong, but not bad.
Haha, yes, laugh at the dumb attorney. I don't mind. I'm sorry, but the girl is right. The vent was much too small for vehicles. It was a tight fit. Even I had to crouch as I walked. Now imagine a vehicle that would fit in such a small space. Ugh, if it wasn't a vehicle, what was it?
Not even like a skateboard or something?
You had me going for a while there, Mr. Justice. Too bad. Ready for the next part?
Why do I feel like I'm on some kind of quiz show? There's an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. Did everyone in the concert staff know about the trick? No, only a few that were needed to help.
See? Like I said, it's on a need-to-know basis.
So not many people knew about the trick.
What were these stagehands required to do?
One needed to open the emergency exit. The door to the stairs is locked, but once through there... From there, one can enter the form on the opposite side from the stage. So when you came back out, you were behind the audience? Yes, that is how it worked.
Not a bad show, if I do say so myself. That's Uncle Valent for you, the old grammary touch.
But on the video, you were only gone for 20 seconds. How is that possible?
That's the part I don't get either. Yes, it would be hard to go so far in only 20 seconds. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. 2 minutes? Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running. Running? Is that in that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling? Haha, Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. That's true, but...
So you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly did make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway. Lemuara disappears on the veil for 20 seconds. But she says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How?
If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer is right there in that video.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us. Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony.
Evidence explained the discrepancy. I want to find where this is too. I'm not sure. Let's watch the whole thing again. I'm not sure.
I don't remember what the solution is. My only guess would be like part of the performance was like pre-recorded and she had a body double lip syncing with her on the end of the stage where Clavier was playing guitar.
Yeah. Do we just present the video again? Because that's what Trici's used.
Not before you have a guess. Or I guess you could just make a save state and go for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I mean, Trici gave us the hint that's in the video. We probably have to pick the part of the video it's in, though.
Kethel's suggestion is the other Lamiwa might have been a reflection in Lamiwa.
There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and testimony. Wait, do I present the video itself or do I present something else again?
Didn't you say you were gonna try presenting the video?
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, maybe. Maybe not.
Oh,
Aha! So this is it? The magical key to unlocking this illusion's dark secret? Tell us how it works, quickly. I cannot bear the suspense.
I was kind of hoping someone else would jump in at this point. Well, you see.
Nope, it's not it.
Alright.
Herr Judge, I do hate to spoil the mood, but I haven't the faintest idea what he's talking about, and neither does he.
I did not use my time traveling abilities that I gained from Phoenix, right? What kind of evidence could prove that? What's your professional opinion about this one, Trucy?
Sorry, I don't work in evidence.
And I don't work in tricks! I'm an attorney, not a magician, for crying out loud!
Really? I'm sure Daddy would have loved working on this.
Thanks, that makes me feel oh so much better.
Well, I don't know about all of you, but I find this mystery fascinating. And I'm not letting this trial go any further until we get to the bottom of it. The defense will continue with this cross-examination until we have some answers.
Easier said than done. Well... you could probably get here in 2 minutes. Because that's where she came up to, wasn't it? I don't know.
The conundrum the judge has is she saying 2 minutes, but on the recording of the concert she disappears and reappears within 20 seconds.
Yeah. I'm gonna just press the other statements and see what else she says. I was on my way when I heard the voice. And it was Darian's voice you heard. Yes, I'm certain it was him.
A matter best left for later, yeah? Put that forehead of yours to work on this illusion first.
Hold on, I think the identity of the killer is a little more important, don't you?
Importance schmortens. Objection overruled. I'm being a fucking 5-year-old. Tell us about the illusion. I'm being a fucking 5-year-old right now.
No use trying to avoid the problem at hand, Apollo.
Trying to avoid the problem. This is a murder trial. The killer is the problem. The contradiction between Lemuar's testimony and the video. Unraveling an illusion can't be so different from solving a normal case, right?
Sorry, Apollo. I'm not telling. Not even if you make those puppy dog eyes.
Fine, fine. Follow them? Okay. I'm really not sure. I would just load the other save. Oh, I made a save. Whoopsie.
You can just say there is no evidence.
Well, I mean, I did, and nothing happened.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you can just back out of this. You're not committed.
Oh yeah. There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and the testimony. Okay, what explains she was gone for 2 minutes. Go back. Not the lyric sheet. Not the postcard. Not the investigation request. Not the revolver. Not the brooch. That explains how the... Anyway, not the brooch. Not the mixing board. Not the key ring. Not the autopsy report. Not the crime photo. Not the crime scene in Lemuar's dressing room. Not the videotape. Not the headset. Not the remote's trigger. Possibly the form diagram? Not this. Not the cocoon. Not the igniter. Not the Virginian newspaper.
Can I see the video one more time?
No. Only thing I'm thinking is to present the form again, but... Sure.
Okay. I think I see the brooch on her chest.
Yeah, so she has the brooch, so it must have fallen when she was in the vent, is what I assume.
Really hard to see that the brooch is on her in a lot of these shots.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. That's a clear shot of it.
Yeah.
Now does she still have it on when she reappears?
To be fair, this is clearly cut, Judge. This video is. It's very hard to see. It zooms in. Shows us.
Nope, not visible.
So is that the evidence?
That's what Strategy Wiki says.
Why? What does Apollo say?
She has the brooch on at the start of the journey. She doesn't at the end.
Oh, I guess that is the difference between the video and the test. Well, Lemmy, do you happen to remember this brooch? I mean, I mean, she didn't mention anything about the brooch, but like, I didn't think it was important because
it does make sense because the problem is 2 minutes versus 20 seconds, and like the theory I posed earlier was she had a body double who was on the a body double was standing with Clavier, and the real Lamiwar came up on the other end.
That makes sense.
The body double had the brooch on. The real Lamiwar lost it.
Okay, okay, this makes sense. I get it.
Aha! The brooch! We saw that yesterday, did we not?
It was found at the scene, Your Honor.
And you're bringing this up now, Vi? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped.
So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. I get it now, though. Yeah, okay.
And also, you can see the moment Clavier's guitar catches fire.
Here you can see she's wearing the brooch.
So she is.
Let's take a look a bit later.
Yeah, they need a clearer shot of they needed a clearer shot of her from the front.
Yeah.
In when she gets to the other end.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember my first playthrough of this game, but I feel with 100% certainty I had to look this up.
What? The brooch! It's gone!
What?
Hopefully they change it a little bit when they eventually do a HD remaster of this in, I don't know, 100 years.
Hopefully they eventually do an HD port of this.
Yes, the brooch has appeared in the short space of 20 seconds. I mean, this is a good game. I really enjoy this game. Also, Clavier. I want to see him in HD. Takes a full...
Do you think it's better? Do you think it's better than the trilogy, though?
I like it better than most of the cases in the second game. I like 2 out of 4 cases in that game. That's half the game I did not like. But I like Franziska von Karma, so...
So you was it the tutorial case you didn't like along with the circus case?
I didn't like the third case that much.
I think the third case was the circus.
And the second case.
So the one with Eni?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
They weren't my favorite cases, but
okay. So far you'd rank the 4 games you've played as
my favorite was Trials and Tribulations.
Trials and Tribulations, the original. Trials and Tribulations, original, Apollo, Justice.
Yes.
Okay.
Takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Lemmy we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lemmy we see after are 2 different people!
What?
The brooch was found on the floor at the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vents! Lemmy, tell me. Did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage, at the very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I did.
Order. Prosecutor Gavin.
From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Herr Judge? I, of course, knew about it.
What? Why are you trying to be smug right now? You had no idea either.
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me. I can still be smug. What of it? that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time.
So, I was right. There was a switch.
There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Lamiva was replaced.
While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement, Lamiwa?
Why, the man behind the illusion. Valent Gramarye. He's a cross-dresser
It was
too.
Gremory. That's quite the illusion. But I still don't get one thing. Yes?
Yes.
The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage. That's right. But this fake Lemiwar is still singing. And she's pretty good.
It's called lip sync. It's called lip syncing, Hair Forehead. Don't
There
you
was
know
a-
anything about
There was a
showbiz?
recording.
That's true.
Come on, Apollo. That's an easy one, you fucking idiot. They were just playing a recording, dummy. The Gaviniers aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein. Oh? You mean I'm wrong? When we play a show live, we play live, no recordings.
You guys do. Doesn't mean Lemiwar does.
Perhaps you can explain, Lamuel?
Very well.
Yes, do tell, and add it to your testimony.
I had to keep singing, even while I moved. You were singing? Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings. So I used this. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling towards the backstage? Why should it matter where I sing, when everywhere I go is the same darkness?
This is a stretch, honestly. Like you would definitely be able to hear her running in her. You'd definitely be able to tell in the quality of her voice when she starts and stops running.
But if you were singing while you were walking,
That's right. Wouldn't the shooter and victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads, after all.
That is right. I mean, we also had the speaker in the room, though, that was also blaring the same thing, so.
Are you sure?
You had to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling.
Once again, we come back to the stage with the scene of the crime.
What state?
Ack! I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo.
The speaker? The speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. Ah, that's for monitoring the stage from this room.
Monitoring?
It pipes in a real-time feed from the stage microphones, useful for knowing when you set is coming up.
Satisfied? That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually, so I guess the shooter and victim would have heard Lamiwa twice and noticed that.
So Lemiwar singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lemiwar singing over the speaker.
ingenious. Her voice was hidden by her voice. This would totally work.
I'm not sure about that, but... Lemiwar! I have just remembered something.
Do tell.
When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I... So you? I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing. That song stopped. Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice.
Forehead, that mixing board I lent you, where is it?
The mixing, huh?
The machine, Apollo. The one that we rage against.
Oh, this! I completely forgotten about it. Let's take a listen. I thought we were gonna see this. I can't play with any of these right now. I have to listen to the whole thing again. The song does stop there!
It does? I must have missed it.
Look at the lyric sheet. At the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure. Now listen again!
Doom just pinged me.
This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake.
The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lemmiwar's ballad.
If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter.
Which means that Darian Kusen could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set.
But Machi was. So the case is over.
Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Fascinating.
Yeah, we literally have evidence that Machi was on the stage the whole time.
But it's not Ace Attorney until you find the real killer.
Yeah.
I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
Herr Forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Lemmiwar's testimony.
Yes, is there a problem with this?
Also, it's not entirely based on her testimony. We have evidence of her, like, stopping singing just as she said. Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. She's covering for the defendant. But if she's lying to protect the defendant...
But you have no proof!
All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself.
The man... You don't mean Mr. Croissant?
Yes. So he is a friend and band member. Darian Croissant must take the stand. I see no other way.
As someone with a new perspective on the case.
As a suspect, to be frank.
Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole, and I'm ready to catch him. Darian Kusen, let's get ready for justice.
Get set to get wet.
This is as good a time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin.
I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.
Very well. Court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess.
Can we get through Darian's thing before we have to end the stream tonight? We'll find out.
No, we will not.
How long is Darian's part, I wonder? Given we already know he did it, it can't be that long. Probably.
You, oh ye of little faith.
July 10th, 1:40 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2.
Apollo, I can't believe it. It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Lemmiwar's performance?
Why she was in that air vent, and that switch, and the flaming guitar. When you link it all together, that's what you end up with.
I knew you had what it took.
Oh my god!
I knew you had what it took. Ah, Daddy!
Mr. Right! You believed in me?
Not really.
Huh?
I just thought that'd make a cooler entrance than saying, hiya.
Why do I even bother hoping?
Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Oh, sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a top secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover?
Like Mr. Latouche, only shorter and not as well dressed.
Oh no, what if you're shot too, Daddy?
If I do a thing like that to you. Anyway, I'm off for a while again.
Huh? You're leaving?
Oh, one thing before I go.
What?
Good luck.
Right. Is that all you came to say?
I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Machitobe off the hook, no doubt.
Yeah, but
But you're after that detective, aren't you?
Darien-san.
It won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system.
The current court system.
What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption. Namely, that our Diva Divine is telling the truth. But what about all the proof? The brooch and the switch? Piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar too. You know, guitars just do that all the time. All because you lacked definitive proof of their connection to the case. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly singed scent of a failure.
So what do I do?
Hello, Godo. Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods.
Ugh.
Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give you from our detective friend.
Detective Sky. Emma?
Mommy? Let's see, this bag of snacks here was meant for me. Here it is. What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar, like the ones the kids are into these days. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually.
Under the sofa.
Hey, Apollo? That's where we found that little device thingy.
Right. This. Well, finally, some evidence that makes sense. Print fragments added to the court record.
That's all for me, folks. See you after the verdict. Maybe.
Right.
Every man has an igniter inside him.
Excuse me?
How did I know you were going to say, squeeze me?
Great
Find
minds think
Darien
alike.
Crescent's igniter and set it off.
And he walked out the door just like a magician normally.
What does he want us to do? No conventional methods? What does that mean?
I guess we just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when time comes.
I guess.
We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trootsy. July 10th, 1:55 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where is Detective Crescent? In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time. Very well. Might I add, I don't believe any of this. Darien was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs Divisions. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination.
That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand, correct?
Oh, I know. Her forehead.
Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darian Crescent.
Name and occupation, please.
Darian Crescent, Detective, Criminal Affairs Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Gavaneers. Maybe you've heard of us?
Do you fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today?
Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me your word I wouldn't be standing here.
The situation's changed, Darian. And don't call me partner, you silly little boy.
So much for old friends.
I see what you're doing, Darian. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial.
Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lamua's testimony. If, in fact, you have anything to say about it.
Oh, I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Virginia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice, ha!
Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing.
Darian's Review by Darian. The Diva's
Echo's
lying.
back.
What?
The echo came back.
Did you hear, Keppel?
Like when you get loud, it echoes.
Does it echo on the
Maybe
Twitch?
maybe it's something with the acoustics in your room. You did remodel recently, right?
Yeah, but I'm doing the exact same voice I was doing last time. It could just be my headphones, I don't know. I just want to know if it's on the Twitch crowd or the Twitch. Keppel said it's not there, so maybe you, Mikey.
No, it's you.
I mean, Keppel says it's not on the Twitch stream anyway.
Diva's lying, plain and simple. She got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots as if. Did Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man!
How convenient that would be for you.
So you claim Lamua's testimony was a lie?
Hey, don't get me wrong, I dig what she's doing, trying to protect the kid. And she's got the courting vague statements out of her hand just cause she's blind.
You go too far, Darian.
Look, all I'm saying is you've got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective?
Detective Sky. I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
You didn't waste any time finding our weak spots. I can't do this with Lemuar's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place. Darian's Rebutal.
Rebuttal.
Rebutal is also right, though. I've heard Rebutal before.
You might have heard people say it, but it's not a thing.
I think it is.
Well, good for you. You're wrong.
You don't have any proof she was lying!
Oh yeah, kid? You're saying I lied?
No! I'm just saying,
Hollow, glare back at him. Show dominance.
I couldn't help it. I flinched by reflex. Detective Percent!
Yeah, what do you want?
Nothing.
Hollow, chin up. Back straight. You're wilting.
This guy's hard as nails. He makes walkie look downright cooperative.
Look, there's no way the Diva remembers my voice. In the first place.
Welcome to the Salty Spittoon. How tough are you? How tough am I? I'm so tough I had a bowl of nails for breakfast.
This guy
Yeah,
won.
so what? Without any milk.
Go right ahead, sir.
The first place, she never heard my voice.
You never talked to her, even though you were playing in the same concert. Not a word, as far as I can recall. But weren't there planning sessions or something? Gavin took care of all that himself.
Darian wasn't involved in any of the meetings with her. He was a terribly negligent band member.
As if you could just go around remembering everyone's voice like that anyway. Only an idiot would believe that.
He even missed his cues at one time. How irresponsible.
Lemmiwar's hearing is very sensitive. She could remember him if she heard him, I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it. I need proof. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots and if. We know she missed the words. The mixing board proved it. Oh yeah? There was a mistake, but blaming it on gunshots is just a lame excuse. What do you mean? The mixing board proves what? It proves there was a mistake in the song, a miscue. So, she just plumped it up. Big time, that's all. She spins the story about a gunshot to protect the kid and cover for her own goof. Man, I'd have to hand it to her if she wasn't sticking it to me at the same time.
Darian, watch what you say. Lamiwa is an artist, and all women are queens. She just flubbed it up. Says that's no small accusation for a performer of her caliber.
Ha! She's got to you too, alright. I can see it in your eyes. I tell you, most of her stuff is so pretentious, it's way over my head, because I'm stupid. I'm detecting a rift in Gavinier's ranks. Anyway, she's too close to defend it. Her testimony can't be trusted. You ask me, I go with Detective Sky's story at the drop of a pick. Didn't Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? Actually, I was there too. So I hear. Which means you heard them too, right? The gunshots. Yes, we heard gunshots. Neither I nor Emma actually saw the shooting, mind you. Heh. I guess you and Lamiwar got the same excuse then.
We know one thing for certain here. There were gunshot-like sounds that emanated from that room during the third set. What we must determine is whether those sounds were actually gunshots.
Wait, is that, like, the evidence that Phoenix gave us? The burnt fragments?
Machi heard them too.
I assume so.
Remember he said he ran for the air duct when he heard them?
So, how do we figure out just what those gunshots during the third set were? This is a guess. I'm going to make a safe state.
Objection!
Some things were found at the
Congratulations.
crime scene after yesterday's trial.
What things?
The first was this small device.
That's the remote triggered igniter.
Correct. And one more thing.
What are those? The remains of something burnt? Not another guitar, I hope.
Traces of gunpowder were found on these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker.
Hey, how did Gavin know about this?
What, you think Detective Sky works for you? She's my bestie. I received this report this morning before coming here. That's when I made my decision, actually.
What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin?
Oh, Clevy already do.
I registered Darian as a witness in today's trial.
Clavier really does not trust Darian. He knows. He's just like, I know. I just want to see him get bet down.
That silly little boy did something, I'm sure. Just in case.
No, literally though, whenever Apollo and Clavier are in the trial together, yes, they are prosecution versus attorney, but then at the end, it just feels like both of them are just pointing at the witness. They're just like, you did it! Like, clearly, they're just working together to prove that the witness
murdered someone.
The culprits get double teamed in this game.
Yeah, literally, I love it.
My.
That raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set could have been 2 firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control.
Ha ha! You got an active imagination, don't ya? You shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient to me.
How so?
So you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off? Right when 2 witnesses came walking by? Ha!
That's right. Darian was out on stage when it happened, Apollo.
Was he? Was he really?
How would he know someone was backstage right then?
If a firecracker goes off to in the forest and there's no one to hear, you get my drift. Why go through the trouble, man? Urgh.
How do I explain this?
He may not look it, but Darian is a gifted detective. Show any weakness, and he's sure to find it, like a shark smelling blood in the water.
He may not look it, partner. Gee, thanks, man.
That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself. And I saw something odd there just before the third set.
Something odd.
A headset, the kind all the band and staff members were wearing.
That's right! We picked this up in front of the door to the dressing room.
What if that headset wasn't dropped, but placed? And what if it was turned on?
You could hear what was going on in the hallway, even if you were out on stage! I love this, They're just attacking Darian, so like,
Whose side are you on, Gavin?
Listen to me, Darian. There are no sides in a court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, Herr Forehead. I've got a question for you.
huh?
Which is heavier, a kilogram of steel or a kilogram of feathers?
A kilogram of feathers?
Wrong. Steel is heavier than feathers.
That's not how this... This would be their argument.
The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime.
That would be their argument. Oh my god. 100%. I hate that, but it would 100% be. And they were arguing, and then Emma would come and be like, no. You're both wrong. Scientifically speaking.
A kilogram is a kilogram.
Yeah. That's literally definitely happened before.
And she would set it up on a scale, and Flavia would be like, but that's cheating. Do you see how many more feathers there are than there is steel? That's completely cheating. It proves nothing.
Proves nothing.
It's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headset from the hallway into the mix, and you could fabricate an alibi.
Alibi? I hate that.
But we're still no closer to proving anything. Except that Starburst is vet. Those gunshots might have been real or fake. We can't say. You've raised the possibility that the shots heard during the third set were faked. Now you need to prove the other half of the case.
The other half?
Look, I'll tell him. He wants you to prove the thing went down in the second act, while our little piano player was on stage. That's right, Gavin.
Indeed, if you can't prove that, then to continue this cross-examination would be pointless.
Well, Mr. Justice, Can you prove the crime took place during the second set?
Ugh, yeah, I think.
You better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through.
It can be proven!
You make it sound like someone else is going to come along and do it for you. Perhaps Daddy Phoenix?
Let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness, your testimony, if you would.
This isn't going to be easy. I need some decisive proof and fast.
Ha! You ready, kid? 'Cause I am!
That's where we're ending it tonight. Because I have to go to bed. On a
And just
cliffhanger.
when Abe shows up.
Just a cliffhanger. Oh, sorry. We're ending for tonight. But I will be back with this again on Friday. Catch us more on Mikey's channel, twitch.tv/Mikeybuster for... Oh my god, the Student Hub, really? Sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
Okay, so
A
you
local
two are gonna
streamer,
have
hi!
to yeah, you two are gonna have to meet up IRL and high five and take a picture of it.
Yeah, anyway, I'll be back with this on today's Wednesday. On Friday. And we'll finish this case, maybe start the next one. Probably not, but maybe. And you can catch us more on Mikey's channel, twitch.tv/Mikeybuster for the end of Mega Man Battle Network post game. Maybe, hopefully.
Hi, I'm Mikey, and I'm sick of farming 6% drops.
So yeah, you can join us for that.
Kessel says they'll send a theoretically high five.
Thank you,
So I guess
Capo.
that means we don't know. I guess that means we don't know the actual altitude of the 5, since it's theoretically high.
All right, Twitch crowd, love you all. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. Mwah.